In this question here, we have an initial ground velocity of an airplane, and we have an ultimate ground velocity accounting for the wind. And we want to know the velocity of the wind. So in other words, we have one component and the resultant, and we're looking for the other component. So what we're going to do here is write down the one component, which is the ground velocity of the airplane, not taking into account any wind, magnitude of 262, in a direction 22 degrees west of south. And we're going to write in the resultant, which is this one right here, magnitude 270, direction 35 degrees west of south. And what that means is that we have a triangle with 262 magnitude, a magnitude of 262 and a magnitude of 270 with an angle of 13 degrees in between. To determine the magnitude of this side right here is not too difficult. We simply use the cosine law and we get 60.7. So we know that the speed of the wind is 60.7 kilometers per hour. However, we want to now use the we want to now determine what this angle is in order to get the direction. But we're not going to use the sine law because that could potentially lead to an ambiguity. And the reason I say that is if we know that this is 270, this is 262, and this side is 60.7, and we look for the biggest angle, well, what's going to end up happening is we could get an answer that we'll get an acute answer when we use sine inverse, but for all we know we want the obtuse answer instead, because the sine law often leads to ambiguity. So we're going to use the cosine law instead, which will give us one certain answer. So using the cosine law in this situation, we get an answer for theta of 91 degrees. So it's a good thing that we used the cosine law, because doing sine inverse after the sine law would have likely led us to conclude the answer was 89 degrees. So we have a 22 degree angle here, and if we create a Z pattern, we get another 22 degree angle right there. Well, 91 degrees minus 22 degrees is 69 degrees. And so what that means is the direction of the wind is north 69 degrees west. North 69 degrees west. But that would mean that the wind was more westerly than north, that west was the dominant cardinal direction. So although we could correctly call it north 69 degrees west, it's a little nicer to call it west 21 degrees north. They're the same thing. Instead of referring to it as north 69 degrees west, let's call it west 21 degrees north. So the ultimate velocity of the wind is approximately 60.7 kilometers per hour in a direction west 21 degrees north.